Today I bumped into cute blonde Jessie Ames on a busy street corner in the city. She had bright blue eyes and a warm smile that lit up the afternoon. Jessie told me she was from Russia, visiting for a few weeks to explore new places and meet kind people. Her accent was soft and charming, making every word sound like a gentle melody. We started chatting about her travels. She mentioned how much she loved seeing different cultures and trying new foods. After a few minutes, she shyly showed me a small tattoo on her wrist, a delicate snowflake design that reminded her of the winters back home in Russia. "It keeps me connected to my roots," she said with a quiet laugh. Something about her kindness and the way her eyes sparkled made me want to know more about her world. On impulse, I offered her a generous amount of money, not as payment, but as a sincere invitation. "Jessie, would you let me help make your dream come true? I would love to see your country through your eyes and experience Russia the way you know it." At first she looked surprised, her cheeks turning a soft pink. Then she smiled brightly. "Really, you would come all that way just to see my home?" "Yes," I replied. "I think it would be an amazing adventure." After thinking for a moment, she nodded. "Okay. Let's do it together." Within a week we had arranged everything. I booked flights and a comfortable itinerary, making sure we traveled safely and respectfully. Jessie was thrilled, sending me excited messages about all the places she wanted to show me. She promised it would be a journey full of beautiful sights, warm hospitality, and unforgettable memories. We arrived in Moscow on a crisp autumn morning. The city welcomed us with golden domes shining under a clear blue sky. Jessie's face glowed with joy as she pointed out her favorite landmarks. "This is Red Square," she said proudly, leading me through the historic streets. We walked past the colorful St. Basil's Cathedral, its onion-shaped domes looking like something from a fairy tale. People bustled around us, and the air carried the faint scent of fresh bread from nearby bakeries. Jessie took me to a cozy cafe where we enjoyed hot tea and sweet pastries. She told me stories about growing up in a small town outside the capital, where snowy winters turned the world into a white wonderland. Her eyes sparkled as she described building snow forts with her cousins and drinking warm cocoa by the fireplace. From Moscow we traveled by train to St. Petersburg, the city of bridges and canals. Jessie was like a perfect guide, sharing little secrets about each place. We strolled along the Neva River as the sun set, painting the grand palaces in hues of orange and pink. She showed me the magnificent Hermitage Museum, where we spent hours admiring paintings and sculptures from around the world. "Art connects everyone, no matter where we come from," she said softly. One afternoon we visited a bustling market. Jessie introduced me to traditional Russian foods, blini with fresh berries, hearty borscht soup, and warm pirozhki filled with savory goodness. We laughed as I tried to pronounce the names, and she patiently corrected me with a gentle smile. The vendors were friendly, offering samples and chatting with Jessie in Russian. She translated for me, making sure I felt included in every conversation. As the days passed, we ventured further into the countryside. Jessie wanted me to see the real Russia, the quiet villages and endless forests. We stayed in a charming wooden house near a sparkling lake. In the evenings we sat on the porch, wrapped in soft blankets, watching the stars appear one by one. Jessie pointed out constellations and told me old folk tales her grandmother used to share. Her voice was calm and soothing, filling the night with warmth. One clear morning we took a boat ride across the lake. The water was so still it mirrored the blue sky perfectly. Jessie leaned over the side, trailing her fingers in the cool water. "This is where I feel most peaceful," she said. I nodded, understanding why she loved her country so deeply. The beauty was simple yet breathtaking: tall pine trees lining the shore, birds calling softly in the distance, and the fresh scent of the forest all around us. We also visited a small village festival where locals celebrated with music and dancing. Jessie joined in, her blonde hair swaying as she moved lightly to the lively folk tunes. She pulled me into the circle, teaching me the basic steps. We laughed together when I stepped on my own feet, but soon I was spinning along with everyone else. The community welcomed me like an old friend, offering homemade treats and kind words. Throughout the trip, Jessie shared more about her life. She worked as a teacher back home, helping young children learn to read and write. Her dream was to open a small library in her town so every child could discover the joy of books. I admired her kindness and dedication. In return, I told her about my own life and the places I had visited. We exchanged stories under the stars, finding common ground even though our backgrounds were so different. One evening, as we sat by a crackling campfire, Jessie turned to me with a thoughtful expression. "Thank you for bringing me home and for seeing my country with an open heart. Not many people would make such a kind gesture." I smiled and replied, "It's been an honor, Jessie. Your Russia is even more wonderful than I imagined." As our journey came to an end, we returned to Moscow for our final days. We took one last walk through the city parks, where autumn leaves painted the ground in shades of gold and red. Jessie picked up a bright leaf and tucked it into her notebook as a keepsake. "So I can remember this adventure always," she said. On the flight back, Jessie slept peacefully beside me, a small smile on her face. I thought about how a chance meeting on a city street had turned into something truly special, a friendship built on curiosity, respect, and shared wonder. When we landed, Jessie hugged me warmly at the airport. "I will never forget this trip," she said. "And I hope you will come back to Russia someday." "I will," I promised. "And maybe next time you can show me even more." She waved goodbye with that same bright smile that had caught my attention on day one. As I watched her go, I felt grateful for the unexpected friendship and the beautiful country she had opened to me. Jessie Ames, the cute blonde from Russia, had given me a gift far more valuable than any money could buy, a new perspective on the world and a memory that would stay with me forever.